Hi, and welcome to another episode of Working with TDD as if you meant it, showing you how you can use this technique in purely evolutionary design and with classical TDD approach focusing on state tests. Last time we extracted a couple of methods. We have these ones. We extracted them because these messages existed in more methods. We use the rule of three. Only extract duplication when spotted at least 3 times. We wanted to triangulate on this idea of x1, and we try to introduce only one notion at a time when triangulating on this concept. The last episode we had an issue that I wanted to extract these things to variables, so the test stopped working. Let's try to do this again, and now really focusing on this. We didn't have enough time then. Oh, and let's start the Pomodoro. My lovely assistant will tell me when 25 minutes are over. So if I do this, if I extract this in a variable, and it's a board 2x2, if I run the tests, they stop working. And actual x1, expected x1, actual nobody one. Why is this happening? Because I'm using this thing. This will compare the reference and not the value. I hope you had the time from last episode to tell me what I was doing wrong. So if I want to compare it now, just the reference, I would need to use this. Okay, so now I can continue with refactoring. This is just a detail maybe, but it makes sense to understand really well how your programming language works, in this case how Java works. And as you saw last time, I did this mistake of not running the tests enough. Don't do that. After each small change, run the tests. They are fast, so they will help you see if you've made some mistake during your changes, during your refactorings. So let me extract this as well, and then I will do another commit. This is board 2x2. Let's run the tests. Okay. Changed the comparison from equal to equals, so that we compare the value of the strings and not the reference of the objects. Good. Here I have this concept board 2x2. I have this concept board 1x1. This one appears more times, board 2x2. And I also said I have this column that exists. The reason I'm extracting these two variables is to say, hey, it's sure that I have a concept here. I really need to triangulate on this, and it shows in a way my future steps in for which tests I need to write next. This is what this shows me. So if I have these variables like that, it's clearly that I need to triangulate more and write more tests around this. Let me do this here as well. And here as well. Because in this way I can spot my duplication. Okay, so now if I look at this well enough, if I would move this away, let's say this would be something like settings. If a board would be like board 2x2 with X on the right column, so this works out good. If I do the same here, I have this one, board 2x2, and I use it everywhere. So this is refining. Whenever you do evolutionary design, this is refining. This is a micro level. I'm just using really stupid small of these variables, but now this is refining. Careful when you do stuff like that, because here I don't have a space, here I do have a space. So I need to do something like this if I want to use it. Okay, let's do the same here. And again, I have this space. Okay, I added this concept of settings, and probably, as you can see, I have a board 2x2, board 1x1. Probably this one would belong in the top part as well. So let's add a settings thing here. Let's move this to the settings. Now what I'd like to do is make the first test identical as well. So let's see if I do this. And if I do this, I want to make the code look exactly the same. So this is a board and it has a certain structure. It has a well, this is the structure in fact, and this is how I played on it, or how the tokens were positioned on it. So I could call this token position, or maybe it's better to call it board setup, board structure. Anyway, it's very difficult to have a very good name in the beginning, so we'll see how this works out. Board structure. So if I do the same here, I have a board structure. What I am doing here, in fact, is that this thing is building a board, and the thing that I have with board 1 by 1, board 2 by 2, that is just giving me the type of board. So if I would extract this to a variable, calling type of board, type of board, type of board. I have made this structure identical in all the 3 tests. So I could call that this is a board builder. Build board. It says, hey, I have others too. Do you want to extract them? Yes, I do. It extracted it somewhere in the middle, here. I like to put these things on the top. Now, as last time, as I showed you, you could inline this. Well, this is a matter of preference. Here it would look weird because the line would become very long. Let me just show you. No, sorry, on the variable. It'd be like that. I don't really like that, so I prefer to leave it in the arrange side. So just let me run the tests. And let me commit. Extracted method build board. I could also inline these. It depends on what idea you have. You see that idea is helping me, and it's telling me it's giving me this board structure, like the name of the variable that I am using here. So if you don't have this, it's a lot more difficult to understand what it is, but I could do this easily. So let me inline this as well. So as you can see, typically with refactoring, with creating design step by step, this is what evolutionary design means. We're taking decisions as we go, as we extracted these things, we name them, we extracted these variables, these methods. Everything we do means that we create design on the spot. And typically you expand, and then because you expand, you start to spot duplication. You look at this duplication, and then you start refining your code by extracting this duplication to a method, to a variable, to a class, and so along. So these are the typical steps when you do evolutionary design. Okay, let's see. Is everything good? Great. I would like to do another thing to change the signature. I don't like the fact that it starts with the board structure and not type of board. So I do this. And idea just helped me. It moved it everywhere by magic. And now let's do a commit. Change the order, the parameters for build board. Okay. I have this column as a variable. It repeats 2 times in these two methods. I have this thing 2x2 board, but I also have these ones with X on. So I didn't manage to finish this. As I said, my focus is to try to make this identical in all of the three tests. Maybe I need to add more tests, maybe not. So let's try to do this to make these identical. I'm separating the spaces. In order to see clearly what I need to extract. So I have with X on, and then it's either left or right. So let's separate these as well, the left and the right from the position. Not you. And here as well. Let's see if this works, if I didn't do any mistakes. Oh, okay, it's fine. So basically with X on is telling me that I have a certain structure, either line, column, or diagonal, or X1, and then I added which type. It's on the left or it's on the right. If I have a 3x3 board, it's on the middle. If I have a 4x4 board, then probably left, right, and middle won't help me. And I'll just, if I care, I just need to number them. So this is a variable. Let's give it a name. I could call this token vicinity position. That's the best name I could find. I'll move this to settings as well, because I'm using it in the arrange and in the production code. And I extract this as well, token vicinity position. Let's run the tests. Okay. Now I start seeing these things. These are spaces. So what is the space? If I think about the language and how it is used, it's just a connector. So I don't know. I'll just name it space, but probably we'll be able to use to I don't know, to rename it in another way. Probably it has a meaning, and I'm just losing the meaning now. I don't know exactly. So just don't focus on having the best name in the beginning. Oh, sorry. So I want to extract it from here as well. Let's see if this works. And again, I have this space. I can use the variable I already have. Let's see if this works. And I'll try to give this one a name. Direction, maybe. I would put the space in the settings as well. This is again direction. So as you can see, I am generalizing the code by extracting these things. Because I've done this part with word structure is identical here. So here and here on line 90, I have space, token vicinity position, space, direction, space, column. So I start seeing a pattern. That's why I extract these strings and extract duplication in order to be able to see patterns. And when I see patterns, probably I'm on a good path. But because I only see it 2 times, I need to triangulate more. The same thing here. I have a board, space, token vicinity position, space, direction, space, column. So there is something here, and it's important to go on and to triangulate on this. Okay, let's see if this works. And let's do a commit. Extracted concepts from strings. Let's look a bit on the first test as well. Here it's a lot more simple. So I have a board equals this structure, and then many details. Here is just board 1 by 1, and that's just it. So I probably can go on to some extent to make this one, the first test, look a bit the same. but not now. I still have enough of these things I'd like to triangulate on. As I said, my focus is this, but I'd like to be able to extract more of these things on the top, in order to maybe make this one smaller, or maybe extract parts of these so that I understand what this is. Because I have board 1 by 1 and board 2 by 2, and clearly that is a concept, right? So let's just extract this to variable. What is this? This is a board. Okay, let's call it size, but well, it's not really size because it's 2 by 2. Yeah, let's call it size. It's not the best name, but still. And then this is another variable. I could call it
stop coding now. Next episode will follow.
Okay, my assistant is
stop coding.
I'm just gonna finish this and then we'll go on. I want to show you where this is going to. This is a board structure, and hopefully this would be here. Okay, if I would do this again, board size, and this is a board structure, this is again a board structure, so these two are identical with the last two tests. If I would do this the same here, but my board structure is just an empty string in this case, so if I would extract this variable to a board structure and I would extract this one to a board size, then look, I have game result board equals board size board structure, game message x1, game message nobody 1. So if I'm running now these tests, I can finally extract this to my method saying get game result, and says, hey, I have it more times. It extracted it somewhere here. So if I run now my tests, you can clearly see that I have something. So this is the first really production method that I extracted. The other 3 ones before were helpers, messages, and so on, builders, but this was the thing that I was looking for, and I've done all these refactorings to clearly step by step go into this refactoring, and in small steps, and will explain you with what you can do. I hope we reach this part. And so I hope you liked this recording. Thank you for watching, and probably I'll record some more episodes to see how this works out. I'll add a few more tests, and to see how we could continue with implementing TDD, tic-tac-toe with TDD as if you meant it. Thank you for watching, and as always, have fun coding.